In this video, we will discuss aminoglycosides. These are the antibiotics which inhibit protein synthesis by binding to the 30S unit and also by binding between the both 30S and 50S subunits of the ribosome. The first aminoglycoside, that is streptomycin, which is isolated from the Streptomyces griseus by the Wachmans and co-worker in 1944. The source of gentamicin is Micromonospora purpura and neomycin is from Streptomyces friedii and netilmycin is from Micromonospora species and amikacin it is the synthetic derivative of kanamycin. And these aminoglycosides are bactericidal with the activity against the gram-negative aerobes, and these are unable to kill the anaerobic bacteria because they diffuse through the porins and enter the periplasmic space by carrier mediated oxygen dependent process. Because of this, these aminoglycosides are inactive in the anaerobes. Now let us come to the classification. These are classified based on the antibacterial spectrum as narrow spectrum, broad spectrum and extended spectrum. Now let us come to the narrow spectrum aminoglycosides, which include streptomycin and dihydrostreptomycin. These are active against gram-negative bacteria such as E. coli, Salmonella, Brucella, and Pasteurella. And Mycobacterium tuberculosis is sensitive to streptomycin. Now, let us come to the broad spectrum aminoglycosides, which include neomycin and kanamycin. These are active against both gram-positive and gram-negative, but not against Pseudomonas species. And in extended spectrum aminoglycosides, examples such as gentamicin and amikacin, these are active against gram-positive, gram-negative, and also against Pseudomonas species. Their mechanism of action involves they binds to the 30S subunits of the ribosome, and they also binds between the interface of the both 30S as well as 50S subunit of the ribosome, thereby inhibiting the bacterial protein synthesis. They inhibit bacterial protein synthesis. They diffuse across the bacterial cell membrane, enter into the cytosol of the bacteria. In the cytosol, there is ribosome of the bacteria, and it will binds to the ribosomal subunits. Streptomycin binds to the 30th subunit, while other aminoglycosides binds to the ribosomal subunit as well as the interface of the 30th and 50th subunits of the ribosome, thereby interfering with the mRNA codon recognition, leads to the misreading of the mRNA code and incorporation of incorrect amino acid into the peptide chain. That will lead to the secondary change in the integrity of the bacterial cell membrane, that will lead to increased permeability of the cell membrane, leading to disintegrity of the cell membrane. This is because as such ions, amino acids and even proteins leak out from the cell membrane, followed by cell death of the bacteria, that is bactericidal effect of the aminoglycosides. And the important thing in this mechanism is that these aminoglycosides are time and concentration dependent antibiotics. Now let us come to the resistance developed against these antibiotics, which include natural resistance. This is anaerobes are less sensitive to these aminoglycosides because they transport across the cell membrane, that is mediated by the oxygen dependent mechanism, and these anaerobes lack the oxygen, thereby they are less sensitive to the anaerobes. And in acquired resistance, the enzymes such as aminoglycoside phosphoryl transferase, aminoglycoside acetyl transferase, aminoglycoside nucleotidal transferase, these enzymes are present in the periplasmic space of the bacteria. These are developed again these aminoglycosides by the bacteria, leading to phosphorylation, acetylation and adenylation respectively. This will compete with the aminoglycosides, thereby preventing their transportation into the cytosol and binding to the ribosomal subunits. And other than this, they will alter the ribosomal structure and they will reduce the pore size. This will impair the transport of the aminoglycosides into the cytosol of the bacterial cell. Now let us come to the last topic of these aminoglycosides, that is toxicity and side effects of these aminoglycosides, which include most importantly that is ototoxicity. It is progressive and irreversible damage to the sensory cells of cochlea and vestibular apparatus of the inner ear. The damage to the cochlea leads to the auditory disturbance, and damage to the vestibular apparatus leads to the nystagmus, vertigo, and ataxia. And other toxicity or side effects like nephrotoxicity, neuromuscular blocking, and hypersensitivity can be seen. In neuromuscular blocking, it is because the aminoglycoside has the capability to chelate calcium ions and decrease the amount of ACH release from the motor nerve ending. This will lead to the muscle ataxia and paralysis by the blocking neuromuscular junction. This is about the aminoglycosides, their toxicity, resistance, and mechanism of action, their classification, and some history and the source of these antibiotics. Thank you.